We've sited the hospital in the northwest corner of the lot, away from the main road to reduce the impact of dust and exhaust from vehicles, and away from the watershed, which may potentially flood during the monsoon. It's near the access road within an existing clearing. We'll now take a closer look at the design. There's an upper roof that sheds away from the central courtyard, and an inner roof that covers interior walkways, shedding in toward the center.
The combined area of these roofs would collect 2,000 liters of rainwater in the driest month and more than 100,000 liters in the wettest month, making rainwater collection a viable option. If given the opportunity to incorporate solar power, a photovoltaic array on the east-facing roof has the potential of producing 8.8 kilowatts. An array on the south-facing roof could produce 5.4 kilowatts. The plan for the hospital allows for future expansion east towards the existing campus. The plan consists of 3 buildings in a pinwheel formation around a central courtyard. There is a main gated entrance and a secondary gated service entrance. The hospital complex is surrounded by jolly walls which filter direct sunlight and allow breezes to pass through. Program elements include a lab space, a flexible space, reception and waiting areas, 3 exam rooms, 2 public toilets, a 10-bed infirmary with a private bath, a private infirmary courtyard, and a central court where a neem or sacred tree will be planted.
Let's walk through these program elements.
Beginning at the front entrance, your approach to the hospital complex might look something like this. The waiting area is a forecourt surrounded by jolly walls. The interior-exterior nature of this forecourt provides shade during the hot months and sun during the cooler months.
It also allows people in the waiting room to decide whether they'd like to sit in the sun or the shade. The restrooms are located at the end of this court, and the entrance to the rest of the complex is just past the reception desk.
The reception area acts as a buffer between the public waiting space and the interior functions of the complex, the lab and flexible space at your right, the 3 exam rooms and infirmary at your left.
As we turn the corner, you'll notice that the 3 exam rooms are separated from the interior court by a jolly wall. All of these jolly walls are strategically placed both for shading as well as privacy. At the end of this hallway is the 10-bed infirmary, which is separated from other program elements to ensure independent ventilation of structures, which reduces the risk of spreading airborne illness. Inside the infirmary is a large restroom with toilet and bath. The north-facing windows in the infirmary are operable, opening out into the private court. This private outdoor space for long-term patients provides sun and ventilation to the infirmary without exposing them to short-term patients. The east door in the infirmary opens back out into the central courtyard.
We're now facing south, looking toward the service entrance. The interior court is at our right. When future expansion is needed, the jolly wall to our left will be modified to accommodate it. Continuing around the interior court, we end up looking back to the reception and main entrance. The lab and flexible space are at our left. The interior courtyard, shaded by a neem tree known for its medicinal properties, would serve as an outdoor space for staff and patients. It could also act as an overflow space for the waiting area. The open nature of the hospital's design takes advantage of passive heating and cooling strategies appropriate for the climate. This section through the infirmary illustrates some of these passive design strategies. The ceiling is made of loose stacked bamboo or similar local material, which will allow light and air to pass through.
The clear story is constructed of jollies or similar perforated material with insect screening attached to the interior. Hot air rises out through the clear story, creating a draft that pulls cooler air in through the lower openings. Breezes can also pass through, creating a cooler interior room temperature. A closer inspection of this system shows how the loosely stacked bamboo ceiling not only allows air to flow up and through, but helps diffuse light.
Direct sun is filtered by the clear story jolly. It is then further diffused by the loosely stacked bamboo ceiling. The exam rooms utilize low perforated vents to draw cool air back into the interior space. The lab and flexible space utilize a similar venting system with perforated vents on their south-facing wall.
The combination of these passive design strategies creates a naturally ventilated, well-lit, and comfortable space.
This design is not only functional for its climate, but for the wants and needs of the hospital staff and the community that it will serve.